like you. Better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you...
Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for joining me again this week on Who, What, Where Wednesday with Narelle Warcon. It's an absolute pleasure to see you all popping in. Say a quick hello to Dan Price. Thank you for coming in, Dan from New Zealand, and also Jean from the US, and many of you from all over the world. What a wonderful day it is. Wednesday tonight, 8 p.m. It is here where I am in Mackay, Queensland, Australia. And yeah, we have a special guest here with us today. I will bring him on shortly, but I just want to run through a few things. Thank you to all those who, I want to say a big thank you to all those out there who are sharing lives, who are sharing other people's stories. It is so important because a lot of people don't think that their story is important. However, what I found over the years, knowing what I've been through, and again, you can check my previous videos about my life, the book that I wrote called Blonde Roots, about surviving sexual, physical, and mental abuse. So I have a story, and I knew that my story needed to be shared with the world. But the thing is, you also have a story, and you also have been through things. Now, there's no comparison to what you have been through in life. There's no comparisons to how bad it was, how not so bad it was, that sort of thing, because I get a lot of people saying to me, I went through something similar, but it wasn't as bad as you. Now, like I said, there's no comparisons here. We are who we are, and we're unique, and we are beautiful, and we are worthy just the way that we are. So today I want to say thank you to all those out there supporting each other, loving each other, lifting each other up. That is hugely, hugely important. So continue to do that. And thank you for being here and supporting my lives, my YouTube channel, because you know what, it's important, I suppose, for me being a spokesperson for Australia and New Zealand. Hi, Kenton, lovely to see you. And Narissa, thank you all. I'll come back to you in a minute. Vivine, lovely to see you. It's so important, I think, that we get it out there that we are here as an amazing country and countries and islands, that we want to share who we are as well with the world. So it really is important that you step up and say, hey, I would love to come on to your show, Narelle. Let's do Who, What, Where Wednesday, Voice Choice Power, the Diamond Within. What I'm trying to do here is just scratch that surface of who you are and allow you to shine that diamond that is within each and every one of us. So just remember, you are a sparkly, beautiful diamond just the way you are. So now I'm going to, I just want to say quickly for those coming in who are here from ONPASSIVE, our 360 is tomorrow for here in Australia. So Wednesday, 2 p.m. EDT for the US, which means that it's 2 a.m. for Western Australia. It's 4 a.m. for Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and PNG. And it's 6 a.m. for New Zealanders. So just keep an eye out on that. I also have posted it up on the OP Australia and New Zealand Oceanic Ambassadors Facebook page. Excuse me. So thank you once again. We're going to pop over now to our amazing guest. Our guest today comes in, who is a fellow Queenslander. He is truly a wonderful person. I want David to explain a little bit about himself, his life, and then maybe his journey into ONPASSIVE as well. So please make welcome and clap your hands or send some beautiful hearts over for David Piggott from Queensland, Australia. Welcome, David. How are you?
Good. Hi, Narelle. Thank you very much for having me here. It's been awesome to come on.
Yeah, thank you.
Just a little bit about myself. 64, married, no kids. Been born and bred, as you said, a Queenslander in Toowoomba. We were born. Family of 5 siblings. I'm the second youngest one. and had a pretty sensational childhood. Very loving family. Grew up really not really wanting for anything. Um, mum and dad. Well, mum wasn't working in those days. Um, back 60 odd years ago, you could get by with one income. Um, but Dad had a family business called Pickett's, funny enough, and it was a department store in Toowoomba.
I
And
remember that, David, actually. I
yeah,
remember that. I'm not a Toowoomba girl, but we visited there many years ago, more when I was a teenager. So I remember that name, actually, now that you say it.
yeah,
So, wow.
yeah. No, it's yeah, that's where well, the whole family's from, and went to school there, and find out that I wanted to dabble myself and try and get into the store, see what I can do. So Christmas time, did the Christmas holidays in the department store and started off in food section. Actually, 16, I think I was, 15 or 16. My first Christmas job was, believe it or not, stuffing chickens. So, you know, even though Dad was the boss, you still got to start at the bottom, son.
Not something you want to tell your girlfriend. So, what do you do? Oh, I stuff chickens. But family
but
businesses are really important. Just as Jean said, like it is really important when you grow up into a family business. So, did you go on then to do anything within the business?
no, I was only there during school holidays, Christmas time, because I realised I needed some money to get out and enjoy the Christmas holidays after Christmas, get down the coast and that sort of thing. So it was a means to an end for me. Um,
Yeah,
wanting
and I'd
to
say
get
doing the chicken stuffing may have put you off a little bit, perhaps.
yeah, no, that was
There's
only
more,
one
more,
year.
to, more to life, hey?
Yeah, yeah. The next year was in toy department, which is I don't know, could be worse. Toy department in Christmas time, but anyway. But after that, I left school and joined the CB. What's it called? The CBC Bank. I've been in the finance industry my whole life.
Wow.
CBC, it doesn't exist anymore. It's been merged with other banks here in Australia. But started off first branch down in Brisbane. Stayed there for a couple of years. Then got shipped out to a place called Gundawindi, which is out about 4 hours west of Brisbane, and loved it. Loved the country life. Um, you're young and single, start playing football and cricket, and the good thing about the bank was that they transfer you around. Yes, fair enough, but they also give you the accommodation and everything like that. So it's all a sightseeing tour of Queensland really for about 10 years. Going from there, did come back to Brisbane, then back up, made my way all the way up to Cairns, stopping in a different towns all the way along. Normally then for about 3 or 4 years in each spot. So you get to play a bit of sport, meet the locals, have a really good time. Um, but eventually, soon get sick of that sort of lifestyle and came back down to Brisbane and was there for a while. Went to a wedding and there was this beautiful girl I saw at the bar. It's not the bar, around a fire pit in the middle of and winter. So we went up and started chatting, and lo and behold, 30 years later, we're still together. Just actually had
Yeah.
our wedding anniversary.
Yeah, how
And
many years
so
was that, David?
30 years.
30 years. Wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations on
thank
a
you.
wonderful, like I think these days it's a really big thing to get to any sort of years, I suppose. But, 30, and I've just had a few friends celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary which I think is just amazing. So well done to you, and congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you and your lovely wife.
Yeah, no, Chris and I are, pretty blessed to be, as you said, 30 years, or 30, about 33 years by the time I decided to get married. So we now live in Brisbane, or in Ipswich, and been here for about 10, 12 years or so. And within that time, I've been in a number of different banks. One of them was about 10 years ago, I suppose, in the CBC Bank, which is one of the main ones here in Australia. Although I wasn't in branches or anything like that, I was in their loan processing centre, and we did all the lending for the branches, all the brokers, and that type of thing. And it was between us in Sydney, which Sydney had a bigger operation than us, but we still catered for all the local ones up here. But I could see the writing on the wall, and eventually they said, no, the job's now redundant, moving everyone down to Sydney if you wanted to. And I thought, I'd say I was 50 odd years old, and I thought, nah, I'm too entrenched in what I do up here. So I said, no, thanks. I'll take the money and run. So did that. The next week, I had a week off. Following week, I had another job in one of the other banks, so it worked out pretty well for me. But at that time, I realised, I thought, because I always had the thought that, good job all the way through, become retired, and that's about all you really needed in life. But you think, no, you've got to start looking after yourself. So I thought, I started looking around, and I thought, what does a 50-odd-year-old person do? Like Marty, went online. So went online and had a look around and thought, well, it's easy to do. Very naive. Started getting deeper and deeper into it, and thought, then I've got to do this, and now I've got to do that. And I thought, this is worse than what I thought it was going to be. But anyway, I persisted and actually started to make a bit of money online, made $25. I couldn't believe it. And went to try and get
more
it
than
out.
my first $8 I made, $8.43 I think it was. So you've done better than me.
$25, I was over the moon. I thought, the system actually works.
But,
then when
David, just while you're there, I just want to expand on that a little bit so people can understand where you're coming from. So you went online, but what were you obviously didn't know what you were looking for, but what were some of the things that you came across? Was it like MLM? Was it a product you were selling? Was it, information, that sort of thing? If you can just expand on that a little bit as to why it was difficult and, why you found it difficult.
Well, I didn't have any products. It was purely an MLM business, and trying to work out how to sell online, what I needed. Actually had a good website, and I thought that was it. But no, you don't have traffic, or you don't have the autoresponders and page builders and the whole box and dice. So I said to Chris that I don't think we can really do it. And I said, I'm not giving up. I kept on trying, and then started to lose more money. And I thought, no, I said, all these shiny objects started appearing. I get very excited, and only of a sudden realise that leads you down a rabbit hole that doesn't come to fruition. So anyway, I was looking around, and all of a sudden I saw this video from Mike Ellis. And I thought, it sounds pretty exciting. And I thought, can't be true though. What he's saying was what would happen. And so I foolishly sort of put it aside for a little while, and then came on another video from the late Scott Nelson, and that really opened my eyes up, and I thought, Mike Ellis really knows what what was going on. So I went back and listened to a few more and a few more, and signed up straight away, basically. And before I knew it, I met up with ONPASSIVE Nation, got a tamati, and started to really try and educate myself, basically, and find out what's going to happen. And he was really good. He was able to explain how it's going to happen. And
David, just before you
because,
go any further there, sorry, just before you go any further there, did you just
sure,
happen to find these videos online, or did somebody send them to you? Like, you know, were you
no,
sponsored
no,
in
no
to
one,
do
no
the
one,
business,
no one
or how
actually
did you
sent it to
find
me.
it? Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no
you
one sent
found
it
it
to me.
just online.
It just came online.
Wow,
Um,
that's incredible.
yeah, so no one approached me to say, "Yep,
Mm,
have a look at this, David. It's a good opportunity."
wow.
No, I actually found it online myself, and listening to Marty's live, because I was on at 2 a.m. in the morning, our time. I used to listen to the recordings on my way to work on the train, and there's a couple of times there I got so entrenched with it, and I thought, wow, I was very excited. And
Mm.
before you know it, I missed my train stop, and so rang the boss and said, sorry, I missed the train stop. I'm late for work. So, but
That's
I could
funny.
only pull that one twice. So, um, but yeah, no, it basically went from there, and becomes more and more excited as I got into it and listening to Ash's tapes, and I'm just really happy with where they are and what they're doing. Yes, they've had hurdles and problems, but it's nothing compared to what's going to happen to not only founders and affiliates, but also humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
Even
So,
the
David,
products and the
what year did you join on Passive? What year was
I
that?
was I was in December 19,
Wow. Okay.
2019.
Really incredible. So, so
Yeah.
there are
So
there things that you'd like to share a
and
little bit about?
in there and showed Chris, and she went poof, straight over her head. Didn't know anything about it, and so she's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
basically my silent partner. Supports me in what I'm doing, of course, but
yeah. Absolutely.
um, she's got a position, and
And I think together is going to be really important. So you have somebody there supporting you, even though Chris is not actively involved in listening or webinars or hearing
yeah,
what's sort of happening. She would be getting a lot of that from you anyway. This is what's happening. This is what's been said. This is where we are right now. That sort of thing. So is there something that sort of stands out for you that really sort of took you, I suppose, by, well, I can do this, or this is something that is going to help me achieve something in my life, in the sense of, not just financially, but who do you want to help? Who is it that you're doing this for? Ash always speaks about, looking after yourself first, but then what?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Reason obviously we came in was to earn extra money, particularly now in retirement. Um, you certainly don't want your super and investments running out at a crucial time. So any more income coming through, it's going to be certainly beneficial. And I know that's certainly a gimme now, and helping a lot of our friends basically. Some that are actually in on passive as well, but are not plugged in. They're not connected. So once it gets up and running, I'll be revisiting it with them again and saying, hey, this is what it's about,
Mm.
um, and get them into it as well. Some good friends of ours, their families, friends of ours, want to help a lot of, because Chris was a teacher an early childhood teacher, and she liked to specialise basically in really harder schools, and some of the hard stories that you would hear, you know, because quite a lot of our income used to go to providing food for lunches or breakfast just to feed the kids, because a lot of them would come in with a bottle of Coke and a packet of chips to last them all day.
And I know a lot of these things that the tuck shops and things provide breakfast now, whether it's a government incentive or not, and how long it's been around for has been quite a few years from what I know.
Yeah.
I helped look after my granddaughter for 4 months while my daughters were basically homeless, trying to find somewhere to live. When it all went stupid in Brisbane, because they live in Brisbane and everything, the rents went high, and there was 30, 40, 50
Yeah.
people applying for one home and things like that. So I know my granddaughter I would get up and give her breakfast, then she'd go to school and have a little bit more. But there are children who are, I suppose, the education department, in a sense, it's not what they're providing is a nutrition for them so that their brain starts to fire, so that they can actually work during the day. Because we all know without any food in our tummies, it's hard to think straight or to actually, move forward throughout our day in the way that we should. But for children, it is more important. And I think that's a really beautiful way that you have been able to, with your wife, be able to supply for these children, give some sort of help. And it would have made you feel good only in one sense. It would have made you also feel like I want to help more. So just expand on that a little bit more as to, how you plan to sort of do that, if you've got any plans in place, if you're going to keep it local to your own community right now, or how you can see that sort of looking in the near future for our children, because our children are our future.
Yeah, it's probably one of our biggest causes at the moment, wanting to provide better for some of the kids that are out there. Chris has got contacts with a lot of the schools and that sort of thing. Another one is single women. Single women by themselves with trying to raise kids. Obviously, one or no income. It's very difficult. Providing housing. There's a lot of homelessness. The whole box and dice, really.
I think they go hand in hand a lot as well, don't you think, David?
They do, yeah.
Because single mum, I was a single mum for many years. I have 3 children, 1 boy and 2 girls. Very little, if any, support whatsoever financially from the dads. And my girl's dad has passed on a couple of years ago now. But, you struggle. And you know what? I think most mums or single parents, let's say single parents, because we know that a lot of them are mums out there, but there's also single dads. But it brings about a different strength within you, because you have to survive. You have to get up. The thing is, with our society today, is it's sort of gone a little bit wayward in thinking that some of the people today don't have the support systems that they had from years ago. They don't have the family unities. They don't have that support community, like a tribe that helped in situations. I come from a big family, and it was always cousins or whatever. Even if we moved away, there was always somebody there that sort of lifted you up and that sort of thing. So times have changed. And being a single mum these days is not easy, because you get a government payment, which isn't a lot. Now, it's not too bad, except now you've got to pay $500 or $600 a week rent because you've got 2 or 3 children. So you need a home to live in. And a lot of them, even here where I am locally, the social worker that I've been speaking to, she said, that there's more homelessness now in Mackay than what she has ever seen. And we're in a mining town. So, we've got coal mines, we've got everything out there, and yet it's still happening. So, food is really important, obviously fresh water. for the children. Yes, the single dads too, Jean. Never leave
Absolutely.
them out, because I know that there's a lot of single dads or who are supporting their children in a sense of just being there, because single dads are also from, say, broken relationships where men have a responsibility to step up and still support not just his ex or whatever, but the mother of his children. But those children need to know that there is a balance within family living, and too much goes
Yeah.
on with the blaming and stuff like that. And we all know, look, people are on a journey and people will go through what they need to learn in their life towards that. But please don't bring the children into it. The children do not deserve it. They did not ask to be here. They did not ask to come into the life of this turmoil. What happened to you, whether you fell out of love or you went on a different journey, is what's happening to you. But please don't put that onto the children. The children are really important. They really need to know that they are loved and supported, so that they then grow up to have that worthiness, that sense of worthiness. So, David, thank you once again for sharing that. I know it comes a little bit for me because I've been there and I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, for everybody out there, supporting children, well done and congratulations. And any of those like yourself, David and Chris, that want to go out there and support and help those children in your community first. I think that's a very loyal and honourable thing to do. So now, is there anything else that you want to continue on with that, maybe, moving forward a little bit, because we can't always see into the future, but, where are you sort of sitting now with, your ONPASSIVE journey? Who do you know that, well, you spoke briefly about people that you do know that have sort of stepped away a little bit, that are in ONPASSIVE, right?
Yeah.
But I suppose, we've been told that September is going to be a September to remember. And I think that for all of us that have been along this journey, that is a part of who we are. I think, you can't look at the destination. I've got a quote written here that says, "Great things happen to those who don't stop believing, who never stop trying and learning and being grateful." And one of the things I think that most, or if not all, ONPASSIVians are certainly grateful for being here along this journey. So just tell me a little bit about your journey, or finish off with something that you'd like to share with our people today. And if anybody does have a question for David about anything, something about Australia, you can ask. Please go right ahead and pop it into the chat. So, David, I'll just take it back to you.
I certainly have enjoyed the whole journey in ONPASSIVE. More so, I think, not only the benefit that we'll be getting, but also the education and the mindset training that inadvertently, I think we've all received, and it's certainly changed my total outlook on life, and where I am and where I want to go, and I'm so happy for the way Ash has handled the whole journey, and the team, because they've educated us on what's more important in life, and also given us a chance to get out there and share any wealth and knowledge with everyone else out there. And with regards to this month, September, yes, looking forward to that. I know the next few months it's going to be very, very busy. We all have our hands tied, and that's where the pedal meets the metal, so to speak.
I can't be any busier, David. Okay?
I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. So all I can say is just bring it on.
Yeah. Is there something that stood out for you within OnPassive? Like we've had it come forward, we've had certain platforms available to us. Just a
Yep.
quick, was there one platform or one tool product that stood out for you in particular? Like I know that for me, I came in for obless, and I'm looking forward to that platform being available to us so that I can help my, great niece. What have we got coming in there, David? What are some of your personal big dreams from childhood? So that's coming
My,
from Gina Lever.
my
So
personal big dreams.
from
Um,
childhood.
well, depends how far back in childhood you want to go, but um, my dreams from childhood would have been, um, well, as I said, being brought up in a very loving family. Um, one of my main dreams was just being able to carry on with life after when you grow up, um, and be able to provide for not only myself but any future family that would come my way. And I have to date, and with OnPassive now, I can see those dreams are just going to be taken to the moon, really.
Yeah.
Um, so
I
yeah,
think you get to an age. I think you get to an age too where less is more. I found
yeah,
that as I've got older,
yep,
that I don't require so much. So I've got a roof over our head. We've got everything we need. All right. I think
yeah,
that's really important of what you need, not what you want, because a lot of people want for the big stuff, the flash house, the flash cars, but it's not necessarily what they need. So we have everything that we need. And I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to say that we have food on the table, and those finances that will start rolling in, we will be able to do so much more quicker, if you know what I mean, so that we're
yeah,
not spending all this money on ourselves. But I
yeah,
think it's important that a lot of people, like Jean said, that I suppose in a way we sort of forget our childhood dreams. And one of those things I think is also that we change so much sometimes to what we need to be at the time, whether we're growing through teenage years or we're getting married or, having children. You said that you don't have any children. Do you have any fur babies?
well, we did have a cat until last year, but they seem to come and go. But um,
As they please, yeah.
uh, anyway, no, with being in a fairly big family, nieces and nephews, and always surrounded by grandnieces and grandnephews now. So that's a lot of our friends are into the grandparenting stages. So we're always having kids around. So there's always
Yeah.
kids somewhere here. So that's never been a big issue with us. And obviously the best part about it is you can take them and give them back after 2 or 3 days. Mind you, 2 or 3 days is about my limit with them now, I think.
Yeah. I think you'd be an absolute fantastic uncle, and I'm sure Chris is a beautiful aunt as well. But
Oh,
like you
she's
said,
sensational.
yeah, absolutely. But it is good to have, that family unity, those nieces, nephews, great nieces, great nephews. Mimi is my great niece, so she's my
Yeah,
sister, one of my sister's daughter. So yeah, so it's a really beautiful thing to be able to know that you can hand down a legacy also for your family, but also for those
yeah,
up and coming nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews, and things like that.
yeah,
They don't have, I suppose, the opportunity, or they don't see this opportunity as we have been able to see it right now. And I think we have all been in the right place at the right time. Okay, so I truly
yeah,
believe that each and every one of us that came into it, you saw it in a different way to what I saw it. And, many of us here, if you want to do a shout out to your sponsors in our chat, please do so, because I think it's important that we, shout out to those people who gave us this opportunity with ONPASSIVE. So my lady who messaged me is Val Astle, and Val is from New Zealand. Thank you so much, Val. I think it's really important that we do these shout outs and give honor to these people who saw in us something that they related to what ONPASSIVE was going to do for our world, even though it changed so much, David, like you said. There were so many different changes, and we all sort of evolved a little bit into what we may have come in for. And those who, who came in just for the money, I think, you'll hear many speakers talk about how their lives have changed and how their thoughts have changed, because it's no longer just about us or me or I. It's really important, that there's so many out there that need so much help. So I'm going to run through a few of these comments, David, and just give you a little bit of a breather if you'd like a little drink of water, and then we'll come back to you. So I just want to say a few hellos. I see M. Kaylee's here. Thank you, M. Kaylee, for being here and everywhere. Thank you, Kenton. Thank you, Rayashed. Sorry. I'm no good at these things. Aussie lingo. Lids, thank you for being here. Dan Price, lovely to see you all. Yes, Jane, I love how family businesses show what's possible and empower family members to be self-sufficient. I admire it so much. Thank you for that comment, Jean. Paul Ashton is here from New Zealand. Thank you so much for being here. I know in New Zealand it's after 10 o'clock at night. So we do appreciate that, trying to fit in all areas right across Australia and New Zealand, and also some of the islands as well. Papua New Guinea is on the same time zone as us here in Queensland. Narissa, thank you so much. Appreciate your words of congratulations to David. Jean, thank you. Yes, the similar story to so many. Ace Warrior, thank you for being here. Praveen, thank you. What have we got here? Lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot, hey? Yes, and I'm going to pop over to my website quickly, and then I'll come back to David for his final words. So I'm just going to quickly, Abdul, thank you so much. So as you can see, this is my website. This is my blog page. I do a blog almost every day. Time is precious. Sometimes it takes forever to be able to do everything and keep up with everything. So as you can see, that's my blog. I do blog every day, like I said, most days. So just take a look, have a little bit of a read if you're over there. It's narellewarcon.com. So my name, first name, last name.com. But I just do little ones. I think it's inspiring. It helps me as well, because sometimes we all need a reminder that there are people worse off than yourself right here in this world. Sometimes our lives can be a little bit complicated, or a little bit, for me, it gets a little bit confusing sometimes, overwhelming, all those things that come with anxiety. But just remember, you're not the only one in the world. There are people out there, like many of us here in ONPASSIVE, that will reach out and lift you up, and certainly share many things with you and be there as a hope, bring hope to your life. So just have a look over here. I'll just scroll down a little bit. Great things happen to those who don't stop believing, trying, learning, and being grateful. I think each and every one of us can be grateful every day for what we have in our lives, because there are people far worse off than ourselves. So that's it there. If you want to have a look at my book is called Blonde Roots. This is it here. You can buy a downloadable just by going to Amazon, and it is a Kindle download. It's called Blonde Roots, or you can contact me, and we can organise for Australia, delivery within Australia. And for those overseas, I've sent a few out just recently, overseas to America and to the UK. We'll just be in contact to be able to organise the postage cost. It's not cheap to do anymore, but it is a signed copy of my book. So I'll just go back to where we are now. Thank you very much. And so for each one, Gurnham, Thank you so much for joining. I don't want to miss anybody. So if you're coming in from Facebook or it's our second time on LinkedIn, thank you so much for joining us on LinkedIn. Glenda, thank you so much. Lovely to see you here and supporting. And if you know of anybody, Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Samoa, Fiji, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, that would love to come on and share a part of their story, please reach out to me either by going to diamond@narellewarcon.com. That's diamond with just a D at the end at narellewarcon.com. Or you can contact me via Facebook. Leave me a personal or private message. You can do that without having to be friends. And also you can go to my website and leave a comment there as well. And that'll come through to me at my email. So please feel free to share this with anybody that you want, anybody who you think it might be able to, diamonds at Narelle Warcon. There you go, I got it wrong. If there's anybody that you know, please let them know and let them be in contact with me, myself, or, just reach out any which way you can. I'm sure there are plenty still in Australia and New Zealand, and we would love to do more of these. However, yes, Dan, lovely to see you. Thank you. Lovely to have everybody here. Now, just going back to supporting. So, David, I know that you have been a big part, and I met you within one of the webinars, within one of the Australian, New Zealand webinars as well. And I thank you so much for your support always, because it really is important. One of the things, I suppose, was getting Australia and New Zealand known to the ONPASSIVE global family. And that is definitely how we have now been seen as part of the global family. Are there any words that you'd like to share with our audience tonight about, how your feelings and things about, where you are, or the people that you've met within ONPASSIVE as well, virtually?
Yeah, I mean, with ONPASSIVE, it's certainly given me a huge opportunity meeting people. oconnect, even going through different webinars and things, no way I would have known anyone like from any of those countries, let alone Australia. And that to me has been fairly remarkable. That's just an offshoot of what advantages of being in ONPASSIVE is. And with the products we know that are out there, top notch, unbelievable, and I'm just so excited about even the ones that I don't know about. And I think that's going to be more exciting than anything to once they get rolled out, how that's going to help a lot of people, businesses, the whole universe basically it'll have someone, it'll touch someone somewhere. So I'm really looking forward to the future and where we're heading, and what Ash's plans are. So yeah, as I say,
I think it's
going
to be a very joyous occasion, David, for many of us who have taken the journey. I think, there will be tears of joy all over the world. Firstly, because our CEO has dedicated himself so much to bringing about this change, not only for himself and his family, but for every one of us who saw that opportunity, who saw his vision. And to me, that's what's important, is we all have a vision, a goal, things we'd like to do in life. But do we want to do that did we think about doing it for the world? Did we think about sharing that with everybody else out there? So we have a really remarkable CEO, Mr. AshMufareh, who has stood by, not only having to go through what he did, and if you've been in business, and you would know from your family, that it isn't always the happy, easy times. Everybody thinks you go into business and all of a sudden you're making millions of dollars, but they forget the hours that you work and the hardships that it takes on your family, because you're not always there. I was in my florist shop for many years, and my children had to do without me, or they had to be in the florist shop. And that was really hard, because you're not doing what you would normally do if you just went to a 9 to 5 job or a casual job as a single mum and things like that. You work your butt off and you work hard. And it took me 5 years to get to a part in my business where I was actually making an income to be able to provide for myself and my children as well. You know, you work all those hours, you work 6 days, 7 days a week if you're counting doing book work and things like that. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're tired. You're tired and you're working it alone. And I had a marriage breakup and I had a premature baby, and it's like, oh my gosh, life becomes difficult sometimes. So I just want to reach out and say thank you so much, David. It has been a pleasure, firstly, to have gotten to know you over the years, and also thank you because you support myself and Australia and New Zealand and those around us in the islands, and you're always there. So reach out to David if you ever need a bit of a hello pick me up as well. I'm sure that you could give 5 minutes to a few people.
I'll give you a good dose of happiness.
Yeah, and obviously if you need a loan, just reach out to David, and I'm sure he's got people still in the field. Sorry, David.
Oh, I've got connections.
Yeah, your connections, that's it. But we'll know not far down the track that, you know, our lives are about to change, and we know that we're about to change many people's lives. So thank you once again for being here with us. Like everybody, if you could just say thank you, or just a shout out in the chat for David. Like I said, reach out to anyone who has something to share that you know. You might know somebody in Australia, New Zealand. Come on, New Zealanders, we know that you're there. Stop hiding, you know. I don't take any excuses. It's not good enough because you are amazing and worthy just the way you are. And you just have to remind yourself of that. So again, thank you, David, for being here. I'll just let you finish off with a couple of words. I'll go to my ending.
No, thank you, Narelle. It's been totally awesome sitting here chatting with you. I just think we're all in such a great place at the moment. And I think not only our lives are going to change, but our family life, our future generation, the whole of society. It's going to really uplift society and what's going to be happening. And I'm just stoked. I just can't wait for it. And there'll be going to be a lot of people out there doing their happy dance very soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I hope that doesn't mean it's going to bring in all the rain, but the happy dance. But no, again, like I said, thank you so much for being here, David. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Yeah, I think put the word out there, David. You know people who know people in Australia, New Zealand, and the surrounds. Let's get them on. Let's have a chat with them. It isn't that scary. I'm not that scary. I just want to really show people or show others that you are the diamond. You know, you have a diamond within you. Life gets sometimes overladen with mud and grease and dirt and the past and, you know, all this sort of stuff. And all we need to do is scratch the surface, and each one of you will shine brightly as you do. So thank you all once again for joining us. You know that we're going to be here next week for Who, What, Where Wednesday. We do have another special guest coming on next week, and I will let you know closer to time. If you want to, you can pop over to my website, narellewarcon.com, have a look at my book, share it with somebody. If you know of somebody who's going through domestic violence, sexual, physical, mental abuse, it might just be something within my book that might stand out for them and give them that hope that I wrote the book for. So any of those coming in from all over the world, thank you once again for your support. Really appreciate it. Remember, Who, What, Where Wednesday, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and please reach out if you would like to share a little bit about who you are. I send much love to you and many blessings. Stay cool, stay calm, breathe, relax, and it's all going to happen very soon. Love to you all, and thanks again, David.
Thank you. Bye.